I think interviewing a cartoonist is a bit of a hazardous behavior, and today we have with us on Literary Goa,
Hazardous? Why hazardous? First time I'm hearing the word.
we have with us Alexy, Alex, Alex Rafael Fernandez, who's been my colleague for many years. So before he interrupts me a bit more, let me introduce Alexy to you, and let me put the ball in his court and ask him to tell how and why he got this name Alexy, which is very un-Goan, almost Russian.
No, no, it's the beginning and the end. A to Z.
A to Z.
After college, I did a course in advertising and public relations. I specialized in copywriting. And during my stint with mass communication and marketing, there was a movie called Zorba the Greek. In that movie, Zorba's name was Alexyz. It was a Greek movie. And his character was somewhat like me. So in the office, they used to call me Alexyz. Then when I shifted to cartooning, I said I'll take that name and put a YZ to it.
I see.
So I baptized myself Alexyz.
For those of us who don't know Alexyz, and that will be a very few of us, I guess, because Alexy has been a cartoonist in Goa for a long time, right from 1983,
Yeah, almost
84.
4 decades, yeah.
4 decades. He is known for his cartoons in many of the local papers.
All the local
All. You've done a full circuit.
I did the full circle.
Great. I've worked with you in the 80s when at that time the Konkani movement was going strong,
Yes.
and you felt very strongly about it, and the paper you were with in those days, Herald, also highlighted a lot of your work. I remember 8-column cartoons and all that. But of course
Full
today,
page too.
full page.
Yeah.
Those were fun days, and of course there are many Alexy stories that we guys who work along with you can narrate to the audiences, but that will take a year of Sundays to tell, so we won't get into that. Today we are here to talk about your books, and I was very surprised when you told me the other day that you have put together 7 books so far, 7 or 8,
7, I think.
all in one form or the other dealing with cartooning, many of them on Goa.
All of them on Goa except the sports cartoons.
Sportoons. So actually Sportoons and How's That, these are your cricket cartoons, correct?
Yeah, this is only sports, and this was published during the Asian Games in 1982, even before I started cartooning.
Okay.
Yeah, it was published by this big publishing company, India Book House.
It's a big brand.
Yeah, so those
In
days
Bombay.
this Asian Games were supposed to be held, and I said, why not do sports cartoons? And I went with my cartoons, 103 cartoons, I think, or 105. I went to India Book House, and they said you should have come earlier. Anyway, it was not too late, and then they published my book.
These were your first books?
These were my first books. And you know what was the price then?
What?
Of the book?
Yeah.
7 rupees 50 paise.
I see. Those days very little publishing was happening.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to get published, and Bombay was a publishing hub of India before Delhi took over. I mean, like it's a pan-India book, and one is on sports in general and one is on cricket in particular.
And cricket was published, this book called How's That was published in 1987 during the Reliance World Cup.
I see.
Yeah, that time Reliance had hosted the World Cup, and again it was published by Marine Sports.
Marine Sports.
Yeah, publishing company by Goan actually.
Goan, based in Dadar, no?
And based in Dadar.
Next to the Portuguese church, Marine Sports.
Yes. Theo Braganza. Yeah.
So that is one section of your
And
work.
also let me tell you, both these books, they still are the first of its kind in India.
I see.
Nobody has published any sports book on sports cartoon.
Wow.
And nobody,
Till today?
Till today, I think so.
Okay.
I have never seen any.
Quite a niche,
And
no? Quite a niche where you take your love for sports and...
yeah, because earlier in school I was a very good athlete.
I see.
Very good athlete, a very good football player. I almost played for Bombay.
Really?
I was selected for the trials, and then I was carried out of the ground because I was kicked on my knee.
I see.
And then I said I was suffering from pneumonia ever since.
Pneumonia.
But that was the end of my football career.
I see.
If I wanted to be something, it was a footballer.
I see.
Yeah,
so you combine your love for sports with your love for cartooning. And
this came later on because
80s.
after St. Xavier's College in Bombay, that was the turning point of my life actually.
Why?
Career, whatever, I was very much influenced by what I experienced in St. Xavier's College, all the social work camps, the ICUF camps. I did 17 camps
Wow.
during my college days.
Really?
Yeah.
But those years were very critical for India in the 60s because there was famine, drought, and a whole lot of problems. And I think that
Exactly.
colleges like St. Xavier's, Bombay, were ahead of the rest in terms of conscientizing students and.
Exactly.
No?
I worked in earthquake areas. I worked in drought areas.
I see.
I went through all sorts
So
of.
it shaped your life.
So it really shaped my life. I felt what's happening. And then we had these other camps which were called, they were called leadership camps, I
I
think.
see. Social
Where-
Service League? No. No.
Social Service League. So I did both these camps side by side.
Okay.
And there we were very idealistic those days. We said, okay, we have to change India from what is happening.
We can still
Whatever.
afford to